Hello, welcome to my messy garage, to my puppers who are hanging out with me today. And if you're returning, welcome back. Hi, hello, I'm glad you're here. I wanted to talk today, hashtag subofftwitch movement. And even if you've never gone to twitch.tv, you've experienced some kind of live stream before. That's basically what Twitch is it's a platform much like YouTube where creators go and they stream everything from video games to playing accordion or soap making, which is what I tend to do over there sometimes. They do an incredible job of actually providing discoverability for folks to grow their community. I don't know if I had started streaming on YouTube instead of Twitch, if I would have ever been able to find the incredible people that I have found. Let's be real, when was the last time you saw a live stream recommended to you on YouTube that wasn't already someone you were following or subscribed to? So I have used the hashtag subofftwitch many times since I discovered what subscribing on Twitch was. But now that I have been more vocal about steering folks away from giving money to Twitch, I realized that I wanted to talk a little bit deeper about why. Mainly because if you don't know some of the deeper inner workings of that platform, you might not really understand why it would matter. The super fast background on Twitch is it was created originally as Justin.tv. It's been a streaming platform since its inception. Recently, in the last couple of years, it has been purchased by Amazon. So if you needed any reason not to give Twitch money, that's probably a good one. For me, what it comes down to is I don't want my friends, community members, people who want to support me and all the things that we do here to give 50% of what they're offering to a multi-billion-dollar corporation or small company owned by that multi-million-dollar corporation when the company continues to ignore and gaslight its creators, which is what Twitch has been doing. So for some background, in December 2020, a user named Salty Wyvern made a post on the twitch.uservoice forums, which is basically a community space to provide requests for changes, feedback, support, all that stuff. A lot of websites have that. And the post that they made was change revenue splits between streamers and lower payout minimums. From Salty Wyvern. I believe these recommendations combined would positively make a huge impact for every streamer and supporter. Change the payout split between streamers and Twitch. Right now, affiliates and most partners only get a 50% split. I'm going to pause there to caveat that most partners. Another reason why I struggle a lot with the ways in which finances happen on Twitch is that there is huge income disparity. Surprise! The top streamers on Twitch, the top channels, those who are making the most money from the platform as creators are predominantly white, straight men. And guess what? They get to negotiate their pay splits. And so when I talk about pay splits, what that means is when somebody subscribes to your channel, which means they get to watch your videos without having to see ads, and they get to use some cool custom emotes, they get a cool little badge next to their name, and a few other like really fun and cool ways that Twitch has made it very enticing to subscribe. You pay $5 a month. Twitch gets $2.50 of that. 50%, which doesn't seem like that big of a deal until you realize that one of the biggest parts of the financial pieces to Twitch is the way in which they incentivize spending money. It's a company, they want to make a profit. I get it. But one of those things is that you can gift subscriptions, which means maybe it's that you see somebody else in the chat with you who's part of the community who's not subscribed and, oh, they got an ad and so they're missing a part of the stream, or they want to be able to use those cool emojis as well, so you gift them a subscription. So for a month, they have access to all of that. And what ends up happening often is they'll continue that subscription afterwards. But another way, which is a huge way to impact the creator and the community in the moment, is to gift community subscriptions. So you can say, I want to gift 5 subscriptions, 10, 20, 50, 100 to the community. And when you do that, the algorithm of Twitch will actually gift to a random person who has at some point been in that chat before. And sometimes it's people who are currently in the chat, sometimes it's not. But what ends up happening is there's this big excitement. And as a creator, I've had that experience, and it is like really just affirming, right? And validating and joyful, and everyone's excited, and the chat room is full of emojis, and everybody's just like, ooh, because somebody just, threw down $5, $50, $100, $200, $500 for you, for your community. But Twitch gets 50% of that. $2.50, $25, $100, $250. And when you start seeing that breakdown, I can get that. And so, continuing Salty Wyvern's post, they say, I would like to see all streamers get a minimum 70% revenue split from subscriptions, with a higher revenue split for all partners at 80%. Currently, both Facebook and YouTube streamers get a 70% split from subscriptions, and they have the option to create custom subscription tiers with YouTube. In addition, I would like to see Twitch lower its payout minimum, which is currently $100, to $10 to $20. A $100 payout is the equivalent to 40 subscriptions, not including bits, which is basically like you buy money from Twitch to give to a streamer, or ad revenue. For the smaller streamers to benefit from that financial support a viewer gives them, they need to be able to actually receive it in a reasonable amount of time. To put this in perspective, Amazon affiliates' monthly payout minimum is $10, 10 United States dollars. They also give the option to pay out with gift cards, and Patreon's monthly payout minimum is only $3. To understand this piece, the easiest way to say this is, for most online content creation or affiliate, kind of anything that you might receive money from a company online, most creators have some kind of threshold for payout. And Twitch has had one of the highest at $100, which Salty Wyvern is right, 40 subscriptions, because remember, you only get $2.50 from each of those subscriptions. I know for me personally, as a smaller creator, I tend to get a payout every other month, just because that's what my revenue is for our channel. And all of that makes sense. It makes sense for Twitch to be a more competitive platform, as other platforms like Facebook and YouTube are gaining some growth and strength in their abilities to get that discoverability and community building, which is really the only thing Twitch has for it, compared to spaces like YouTube, or even, I still think it's strange that people are streaming on Facebook, but somebody's watching it. Is it you? Are you watching live streams on Facebook? If you are, can you comment down below and tell me what it is that you're watching? Because I'd love to know. So Salty Wyvern made this post December 16th, 2020. I signed this last year mainly because it didn't make sense for Twitch to be making money off of creators who were facing racist and homophobic slurs and attacks, to the point of even coming into the real world physical safety issues where people were being doxxed and swatted. And so I signed this then because even though at the time I was, barely an affiliate, and this wasn't really about me particularly, last month on September 21st, I, along with the other 22,727 folks who signed or shared or commented on Salty Wyvern's post, got an email from Twitch. Hi, we wanted to let you know that an idea you supported has a new status. Let us know what you think. Declined. Hey everyone. First, we want to thank Salty Wyvern for posting this request and the 22,000 plus of you who have supported it. We have been blown away by the response to this post, as there are actually 2 asks in this post. We will address them individually. For the primary request of increasing the revenue share split to 70-30, the standard revenue share for subscriptions is 50-50, and we do not have plans to change the standard revenue share. We understand that this is disappointing for many of you, but we'd like to provide some reasoning behind the decision. To quote our president, Dan Clancy, from the blog we posted today, when we first established a 50-50 revenue share split, it was to signal that we're in this together. You all do the amazing work you do to create content, engage with your audience, and grow communities. On our side of our partnership, it's our responsibility to make continuous investments in the products and people that make your growth possible. I think a 50-50 revenue share split made a lot of sense before Twitch was owned by Amazon. Yeah. As you probably heard by now, we're in the middle of rolling out the latest change to payouts in years by cutting the payout threshold in half to $50. Remember, Patreon's payout threshold is $3. This is an important middle step that will help streamers get money in pockets now, while getting us closer to our goal of same-day payouts and lower thresholds. I don't know what kind of back-end work goes into changing a payout threshold. It feels like you just type in the number, just take out the 1 and the 0 and add a 5. That's probably not how it is. Maybe there's more to it than that. It still feels kind of like a punch in the gut. But of course, Twitch continues. Investments like these are paying off for streamers. Products like Prime subs. When Amazon bought Twitch, one of the benefits was they provided Prime subscriptions, where you could, as an Amazon Prime user, get one free subscription to one channel each month. And that channel, that creator, will get $2.50, and they are great. And I tell everybody I know, like, even if you don't have any interest in watching Twitch, if you want me to help you give me $2.50 from Amazon, I'll help you do it. So basically, it's a way for Amazon to continue to promote their Prime service while also sort of cross-pollinating, so that way their Prime subscribers can now maybe find this new platform that they've purchased. Community gifting, which we've already talked about. The hype train, which is actually a way in which they incentivize those kinds of community gifting, subscriptions, money spending, right? Because you'll see a little thing in the top that says, oh, we just need one more subscription, and then we get a hype train, which basically means that maybe you'll get a free emoji to use, and the creator might end up on the front page of Twitch for a minute or two, which can be very mixed results. But it's a way to get at those dopamine receptors to get us to spend. And the ads incentive program, continuing to name a few, have driven an increase of 27% more streamer revenue per viewer hour every year over the last 5 years. Which also means 27% more revenue for Amazon through Twitch per viewer hour. This means the same viewer hour now earns you 3 times more money than it did 5 years ago on average. Our investments into your monetization options have already and continue to put more money into streamers' pockets than 20% more subs revenue share would have. They say that. I would like to see what that would look like for creators who are not in the top 100 of Twitch. Because the reality is, for most streamers, creators, users on Twitch, I find that number very difficult to believe. I've been I'm rereading this paragraph, and this is a totally new thing to me, but this is such bull dookie. So think about this. The products that they have provided, Prime subs, which are ways in which they get to advertise Amazon Prime basically for free on your channel, because it costs them nothing to do that. And yeah, you're gonna get $2.50, but chances are you have other subscriptions that are matching all of that. And I can tell you from my revenue stuff, my Prime sub list is a lot smaller than all the others. Community gifting, which means that you've inspired your community to want to celebrate in some way and to show that celebration in some way, or want to support in some way. And so you as the creator are actually the one who's driving the community gifting. But yes, because there's community gifting, streamers are making more money. And the hype train, which again is a way for Twitch to incentivize people to spend the money. And then the ads, which again, the more ads you run, the more money Twitch makes. The products that they've invested in, that they've in theory spent our money on, which we don't know because we don't actually get to see what their profit margins are towards things that also make them money. And because I just can't, just the gall of it all. And to be fair, you're right. You know, to be fair, I was not a streamer 5 years ago, so I don't know what that looked like then. But it feels like what they're saying is we've made it easier for people to want to spend more money on the platform, and so therefore you should be grateful. Continuing, Prime subs often get lost in the conversation when it comes to revenue share. For Prime subs, we pay streamers the same amount they receive for a regular subscription, even though it is included as an added benefit of their Prime subscription. Does this sound like an advertisement for Amazon Prime? Combined with other monetization products, Prime subs increase your effective revenue share by approximately 15% to about 65% total. This number varies by streamer size and location, but subscription revenue share is not the full picture on revenue share for streamers. So you know how I was talking about the top 100, or basically all of the straight white men who are able to negotiate their own pay splits and are making obscene amounts of money along with Twitch through Amazon? I'm guessing they're the ones who are maybe reaping more of this benefit. Lastly, we have to talk about the cost of our service. Delivering high definition, low latency, always available live video to nearly every corner of the world is expensive. Using the published rates from Amazon Web Services Interactive Video Service, IVS, which is essentially Twitch video, live video costs for a 100 CCU streamer who streams 200 hours a month are more than $1,000 per month. I'm gonna stop right there. So, one, most streamers do not stream for 200 hours a month because that's literally pulling out my calculator to do math. That's how annoyed I am. Someone who streams 200 hours a month is streaming 50 hours a week. Well, and the cost of that are $1,000 per month, but that also means that they have 100 concurrent users watching them. For example, I have 500 followers on Twitch, around 30 to 40 subscriptions. Generally, my chat has around 10 concurrent users. That's pretty average for in terms of the breakdown, the percentages. Someone who is, say, a full-time streamer who is streaming 50 hours a week, who has 100 people using their chat, probably has upwards 20,000 plus followers. If you're looking at it as, I'm doing math again, somebody who has 100 concurrent users in their stream, in their chat, also probably has around 400 at least subscriptions, which means that they have made Twitch $1,000 a month and they have received $1,000 a month. Now the issue is that that's just from subscriptions. That's not including the ad revenue. I'm calling shenanigans. And here they go. We don't typically talk about this because, frankly, you shouldn't have to think about it. I shouldn't have to think about it, Twitch. I shouldn't. But now I'm doing math, and it's your fault. But to fully answer the question of why not 70-30, ignoring the high cost of delivering the Twitch service would have meant giving you an incomplete answer. As mentioned above, we recently started a rollout for reducing the minimum payout threshold to $50. Although this does not fully meet the request of $10 to $20 today, we will continue exploring ways to bring your hard-earned money to you faster and more efficiently, and aim to continue to lower the payout threshold in the future. While we are declining this request, it's still crucial to know that the primary value of sharing your feedback on user voice is to have your voices heard and suggestions considered. We will not always be able to provide the desired outcome, but it's important for us to be transparent and open when we can, and we will be focusing on providing more consistent updates on user voice as time goes on. Man, now I want to do more math. I'm really curious. Basically what they're saying is for 100 users in chat for 200 hours, so I'm multiplying 100 by 200, so for 20,000 user hours, it costs them $1,000 per month. So let's look at my own stuff. right? Because I don't know how else to do it besides to do that. So let's look at mine. And if I go into my insights and my channel analytics for the last month, I have streamed 50 hours, which is a probably much more manageable amount of time. And I've had an average of 14 viewers. Based on this math that they're saying is basically, so for if it's $1,000 for 20,000 user hours, it costs them 5 cents per hour per user. So we'll take mine. We'll take my 14 viewers. We'll take the 50 hours that I streamed last month, so 700 user hours, times that 5 cents. It cost Twitch, apparently, around $35 to support my streams. I made, during the last 30 days, $132 from revenue. The breakdown of that is $30 in paid subscriptions, $7 in Prime subscriptions, $52 in those gifted subscriptions, and then $1.43 in advertising revenue, $41 in cheering, 8 cents in extensions, and that's it. So it cost them $35 for me to stream. What has Twitch made? So let's say they've made the $30 that I have made from paid subs. They've made the $52 that I have made from gifted subs. And I'm not even going to, let's pretend that the cheering, which is the Twitch money bits thing I was talking about, where I won't even take that into consideration. Twitch made $82 off of my streams this month, not including ad revenue, not including their take on how much people have to pay in order to give funds through the platform. So they came out with a $45 profit plus. But it's just very expensive to have a platform like this. I think what's also interesting to me too is that that's not even the best part of Twitch. YouTube has YouTube Live. There's very low latency. And the issue isn't the low latency, high definition video. The issue is that the one thing that Twitch has that YouTube doesn't, discoverability for new creators. And so to blatantly try and turn this into some kind of we're a family partnership BS while Twitch is owned by freaking Amazon, I would have rather them just not respond. But because they did, I don't want to support them. I don't want my community, the people that I care about, to be giving their money to this corporation when they are thinking about it as giving it to me. Because that's the other piece here, right? There's a matter of intention. The intention for Twitch is to make money. They're a for-profit company. I want them to make money. I want them to be successful, but they're doing so at the cost of their creators. And so for Twitch to basically spit in the faces of small creators, I've said multiple times as I've been rumbling around with this stuff myself, is I'm never going to say, how dare you subscribe on Twitch? Or how dare you give to your favorite creator this way? I guess maybe you don't know me well enough to know I'm not that kind of person. But what I will say is, if you are wanting to give to one of your favorite creators, if you want to support them, if you want to help them to financially be stable, there are so many better ways where you get to actually make more of a difference with your dollar than to subscribe or gift or cheer through Twitch. I'm not going to stop streaming on Twitch, but I am going to continue to have #subofftwitch in the corner of all of my streams with my link to Patreon, because I am just tired of corporations, institutions peeing on our backs and telling us it's raining. And that's gonna be it for today. It's a little bit of a different video than normal, but one I've been wanting to talk about and to make and to share. And so I don't know if you like this or not, but if you do, you can go ahead and like. If you're new and you're not subscribed, it's actually free to subscribe on YouTube. That doesn't cost you anything. That way you can get notified whenever I make other random rambling videos, or maybe you'd rather see like the cute goats. That's usually better. I'll have my socials around somewhere. Thank you to all of my patrons for supporting me on Patreon. You are making it possible for me to do this work and potentially see a future in it. And if you would like to support me on Patreon, that will be linked down below. I hope that you have a good day today. I hope that you take care of yourself, and I hope that you know your worth, that you are worth more than whatever percentages or CCUs Twitch wants to put to try and confuse us. And I hope that today you don't have to do angry math. Bye.